Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Tuesday, November 22nd, 2011 is sponsored by Realtik. Alright guys, let's get into the market action. Markets are flat on the day after an initial pretty ugly sell-off early in the day. Now this is very, very interesting what I'm going to unveil here, folks. In fact, it's somewhat shocking. Bottom line is, the markets were selling again exactly at the low from yesterday. If you map this out time-wise at 11:40, I repeat, at 11:40 a.m. Eastern Time yesterday, the markets put in their lows and started to reverse. Today, at the exact same time frame, the low was put in as the IMF came out and said, we're going to help the European banks with liquidity. We're going to flood them, give them a credit line, and the markets reverse. So what this shows us here, folks, is that that time frame is specific to when the help is being initiated for the markets to try to rebound. And sure enough, the markets had this great pop up. Little bit of a pullback. They made a new high right here and are now just sitting on top of these moving averages as light volume really gets involved now. Very, very light volume this afternoon. But again, it just shows us that there is manipulation in the markets. All right, the timing was perfect. The low was perfect 2 days in a row. And yesterday it helped the markets come off their lows a little bit, although not much. But I guess you could call it helped the markets from collapsing. If you had broken this key level here yesterday, you could have easily seen a major collapse in the markets. Same thing today. I mean, we were on a path straight down, and then they come out and prop the markets up with an announcement like that. Now, the IMF really doesn't even have that much money, so I don't know what they're really going to do. But ultimately, that's what was done. That's what was announced, and the markets responded with joyous optimism here, running back up at least to the flat line. Now, the key is, does it have enough energy to continue up later in the day? And as volume gets lighter, that's going to be the big question. Based on light volume, you might think it does have that ability, but again, it's going to come all down to the optimism in terms of people holding stocks into that Thanksgiving holiday. Remember, tomorrow's a trading day, and then Thursday the market's closed. Friday there's a half day, markets close at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then the weekend's off. So a lot of traders out there that I know of are saying, hey, listen, based on everything that's going on in Europe, I don't want to hold anything long into the weekend, into Thanksgiving, let alone the weekend itself. I understand that mentality, and that's the mentality that's putting pressure on the markets here to the downside over the last couple days, and really last week as well. So in any case, folks, that's what we have going on right now. Let's take a look at the daily chart. The daily chart, again, very, very ugly chart. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see how we tried to break through here. This is where I ended up shorting the market, just so everyone knows, and we collapsed down in spirit of bearish pattern and collapsed down again. We're now hovering above this area of support. This is your next big area right here, right around the 118, 117.50 area on the charts. And that, if we hit that, that would be actually probably a good long opportunity. Right now, we're kind of in no man's land, hovering there. Whether or not they can prop the markets up into the weekend, we're going to find out in the next, few minutes to hours of this day. Okay, now let's go over some keys to the markets. What are we looking at here? Well, a couple stocks that I've been looking at and giving to my members here. And by the way, folks, remember, you can always take a 7-day free trial of our services if you have never tried us before. There's a 7-day free trial to the Research Center, which gives you videos, gives you live swing trade alerts, hot chart analysis type stuff, rules of the trade, videos, daily market reports. I mean, you name it, it's all included there in the Research Center. You also have the option of taking a 7-day free trial to the Intraday Stock Chat. That's me live on the microphone giving a hardcore analysis. My partner Nick, a chief market strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Live analysis, live charts, live questions, live trading calls, swing trading, and day trading calls. So again, folks, you can always come to In The Money Stocks and try us out, InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, now let's go to a couple other charts out there. Very rarely do I hold a stock into earnings, but I did hold Canadian Solar into earnings, folks, because I liked it. I thought it was very, very cheap. Sure enough, that turned out to be a very, very good decision. Today it opened a little bit lower and roared back. This is the daily chart. If you look at the intraday, look at this. Great little move on the intraday chart, so good gains there. The stock is up a little over 10% today, so very, very nice gain on CSIQ Canadian Solar. The Canadian Solar Company here, and then you have Chinese Solars are all profiting today very nicely. They're all going up. HSOL, take a look at this. This is a dollar stock trading up 21 cents to $1.42. Great gain on HSOL. How about LDK, which reported earnings this morning as well? LDK, great move. All right, how about STP, which reported earnings today? Also a fantastic move, guys. This is almost a 20% move on STP today. I think personally, I think the bottom is near in on the solar stocks, especially the Chinese solar stocks, which have been beaten down even more. Stocks like Canadian Solar, STP, Suntech Power, those are the ones that have just been utterly blasted. Now, there are some other ones I'm looking at. SPWR, Sun Power, is only up 16 cents. I talked about it right here to my members on Traders Life 24/7, which is a social trading network that we have at inthemoneystocks.com. When you become a full-fledged member, you get access to that. And sure enough, this has already run about 15 cents from that alert. But I still think there's a lot more upside on this Sun Power. What I like about it is that it's not only are we seeing the Chinese solars really take off, but it's a nice little double bottom on the daily chart. Look at that double bottom you're holding on. So as long as you hold on to that double bottom, I like this chart for a bounce back up, a snapback rally. The chart has been utterly beaten down. I mean, it was 23 bucks back in July, August, and now it's coming down. You're talking about a $6, $7 stock right here. So that one's a big favorite of mine as well for a possible move. And First Solar's not having a good day. One of the few solars not to have a good day today. And the reason it's not having a good day is because of technicals. You might say, well, what does technical have to do with it? Well, if you take this trend line, this body right here, I've told my Research Center members in the nightly videos for probably about 3 weeks now, 2-3 weeks, that as long as you stay above this pivot low and don't break below it, you're going to have a possible bottom in the stock. But I said if you break below this pivot low from this big red candle, you're going to have a breakdown. And if we draw the line right here, look at this, guys. Today it breaks down, and this is a technical breakdown on this solar stock. So this is kind of the big kahuna here of solar stocks, First Solar, FSLR, and it ultimately should go to about $39.50 and possibly, I repeat, possibly maybe even as low as about $34 to $35. But again, if you want exact entries, when do I buy this? Join the Research Center. Take that 7-day free trial. Step your game up. Join the elite pros who are mastering the markets using a proprietary technique methodology that has never been seen before in the world. We created it here at In the Money Stocks. It works. Join us and start learning how to profit on 80 to 90% of every trade you take. You can have a trained eye using the methodology, and it works, folks. Bottom line is, it works. All right, in any case, let's go over a couple of the charts. How's Apple doing today? Apple actually having a very, very good day. Interesting with Apple here. You can see yesterday it kissed the 200 but didn't officially tag it. Today, good reversal. Very nice reversal, up $7. Amazon, this was a trade I gave out yesterday, guys. You want to see the trade I gave out yesterday? Just take a look at this. Connect this pivot low to this, and there you go. Look at this. This was a buy yesterday on a pierce right here. It pierces it again today, and look at the snapback. This is basically in the money about $5 to $6 right now. Great move on Amazon, back above 190 up share. What about JP Morgan Chase? JP Morgan Chase is having some more problems. The financials continue to be in troubled waters. JP Morgan had a good bounce on the back of that news from the IMF, but since then has just fallen back down. And I have to say, guys, you want to know where JP Morgan is going? You want to know where to swing trade this play? What I want you to do is take the pivot low from 2009, extend it right there, bam. When you get to that level, not before, when you get to that line, this stock will bounce. That's when you know it's going to bounce, okay? All right, guys, so that's some good stuff right there. Awesome to go over with you guys. Let's go back to the SPY and just take a look at what it's doing here. We are seeing a little bit more downside on the markets. They are starting to come back in after that euphoric IMF news. Again, it'll be interesting to see if we hold on to the gains or not. I will be watching very, very closely. All right, guys, have a great afternoon. Let's make some money this afternoon. Join the Intraday Stock Chat. Join the Research Center at inthemoneystocks.com. Take the 7-day free trial and start profiting with the elite pros.